Is there something about the phenomena of Conor McGregor that is unique?
Conor ain't no joke. I mean, he's a bad dude.
Has the right combination of the mind.
What got me to where I am, and where I will continue to go, is an insane work ethic.
His mind just never rests. 24/7 he's thinking about it.
I'm just curiously fascinated with it. I don't think about nothing else.
And the talent.
He's very innovative in his techniques and his approaches. You're never going to see another one like him.
He is one of the best. Go back and look at what he did to Cowboy Cerrone.
The confidence is not quiet.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
When someone has a mental edge, it becomes an edge.
That's all right. Hey. Conor, wow, Conor McGregor trying to go at the referee. I don't know what's going on here.
I don't understand how you can punch old man. Ireland government, where are you guys?
Conor McGregor threw a chair through our window of our bus.
I feel to be at the pinnacle of any game, whatever you do, you've got to be a little bit gone. You've got to be almost insane to your craft. Not a lot of people can understand that. That is why I say I don't feel pressure in there. I do not. I feel free in there.
There's nothing more exciting or more fun than a motivated Conor McGregor. And you can tell right now he's in.
I overcame a lot of adversity and a lot of hard work to get to that octagon.
Conor is one of the greatest athletes probably of all time.
The McGregor lineage, we are bled on the battlefield. You can trace my lineage back to the Highlands where we fought invaders off of our land.
So this journey you're on, it hasn't felt long and it doesn't feel anywhere near complete.
I feel I'm only warming up.
Now, if you guys like those epic intros, let me know by hitting that like button right now. Now, for many, it seems like Conor McGregor, he was always destined for superstardom as a prize fighter, but his journey to the top of the fighting world started from the humblest of beginnings. Now, born into a working-class family from the suburbs of Ireland, Conor, he would make his way through childhood gyms and begin his working career as a plumber's apprentice before making it big as a fighter.
Before me, there was no Irishman that had succeeded in the UFC. There was no one. I could not look to my mother and father and say, look at this Irishman, look at his successful fighting career, because there was no one before me, so I was the first one. I had to convince them what I was going to do.
When he finally made his debut in the UFC, he quickly rose up the ranks to become one of their most popular stars, and his stellar record earned him the nickname the King of Combat Sports.
The one, the only, the notorious Conor McGregor!
Since his rise to the top of the mountain, Conor has taken a few losses, he's announced his retirement, and he's had a slew of controversies that have had many questioning his future in the world of sport and celebrity. The thing is with Conor, despite all the mistakes and the naysayers, he's always bounced back and ready for the next fight. That is, with the current exception of a boxing match with Jake Paul.
We'll see what happens, you know? That's it. I'm not really... He seems like a confused little kid to me, to be honest.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy, Michael McCrudden. Now, we're doing something we haven't done here in like a year. We're actually hitting you guys with an epic before they're famous. That's where we roll out the red carpet, we put in like 3 or 4 days of hard work, and we give you guys the best of the best. Now, for me, coming from an Irish household, Conor, he's been a big deal in a lot of ways. And I've actually been to a few of his fights over the years. We were out in New York City at Madison Square Gardens. That was a good one. Anyways, let us know who you want us to feature next in a regular video or in an epic, and I'll see you guys after the intro. Hey, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell. Boom! Conor McGregor was born on July 14th, 1988 to his father Tony and his mother Max. Now, they both claim that he arrived in this world with clenched fists. Conor would spend his youth growing up in Crumlin, a suburb of Dublin, and his childhood interests revolved mostly around soccer, cheering for Manchester United, and eventually it made a way for him to find an interest in fighting. In fact, as a kid on the streets of Dublin, Conor would often get into fights with the neighborhood boys. What set Conor apart from the others is that when the fights were over, well, he turned into an analyst, running back the confrontations in his head and trying to devise moves and counter moves that he could utilize the next time he got himself into a scuffle.
I felt like I needed to be able to defend myself, you know what I mean? You know, and if you're walking down the street and something happens and someone starts something, you know what I mean? I walk by a group of people and they're saying something and things like that happened a few times, you know what I mean? And then I said, right, yes, I'm going to go and train. If anyone says that to me, then they're going to know about it, you know what I mean? That's how I started.
For an idol, he gravitated towards the likes of Muhammad Ali, who inspired him with his skill as both a fighter and a talker.
I don't like fighters who talk too much.
And Conor, he joined the Crumlin Boxing Club to train in combat sports.
He walked in with his football boots and he came up and he started messing around with the bag, punching the bag. Now, he was only about 10.
Now, before long, he would meet his longtime coach, John Kavanagh, after beating up two of the best fighters in the sparring session at one of Kavanagh's gyms.
He had a more open mind and he encouraged different movements, and I'd never experienced that before. I'd never heard a coach say that to me before. He has a vision that everything works, and he encourages every movement, because ultimately there is a time and a place for every single move. I just knew when I met John and when he spoke, it made complete sense to me, and that was it. I stuck with him and he stuck with me, and the rest is history.
Now, Conor claims he was always uninterested in school, but he had to make a living. So he took to plumbing as an apprenticeship, and he did what he could to make a run at it for about 18 months. But working 14-hour days before heading to the gym to train, well, it was killing him inside, and something had to give. Spoiler, well, that's something, it involved a plunger. And when he told his parents that he was going to give up his day job to concentrate on fighting full-time, well, they disapproved so much that he and his dad, they nearly came to blows. Frustrated by his parents' response, well, Conor, he told them that one day they would be sorry when he was a millionaire, something that he truly believed would happen.
I told them by the time I am 25 years of age, I will be a self-made millionaire through this game. And my father laughed in my face at that time, and it was a friendly situation, but now I am 26 years of age and I have achieved that.
Absolutely, and I'm happy to eat humble pie. I mean, as a father, yeah, absolutely, I'm happy. I mean, I'm glad that Conor is able to tell me, if he was to say, you are wrong every day in my life, I'd be happy to accept that.
Now, before we go any deeper into Conor's come up, I should probably pause here to mention something important about his life story. I'm talking, of course, about the good old law of attraction. Now, the theory states that human beings and their thoughts are made of pure energy, and that energy attracts identical energy. Therefore, people can influence the shape of their own lives in positive or negative ways, simply with the power of their own thoughts. But more than that is the belief that we have the power to will specific results and events into existence just by visualizing them. Now, this theory, it's been around for a long time, historically speaking, but it was Rhonda Byrne who popularized it with her book, The Secret. She also released a movie explaining the power of the theory back in 2006.
Do you know this? Secret gives you everything you want. Happiness, health, and wealth.
Now, it became an instant global success, and when the companion book was released, well, it was published and translated in 50 languages. They sold over 20 million copies, and one of those made it into Conor's possession. It was a gift from his sister Erin, who believed that it may help him find his way. Now, Conor, he didn't take it seriously at first, putting the DVD to the side, forgetting all about it, but a few months later, Conor eventually popped the movie into his player and watched it with his longtime girlfriend, Dee Devlin. Now, he told the Bleacher Report, "Even when I first watched it, I was like, this is bull." But then something clicked for me. In his heart, Conor wanted nothing more than to be rich and famous, and here was the movie telling him that he could be those very things. All he had to do was visualize it and believe it. Eventually, Conor, he was hooked. He and Dee, they began visualizing everything in their day-to-day life, and much to their surprise, well, it actually began to work.
A lot of times people believe in certain things, but they keep to themselves. They don't put it out there. If you truly believe in it, if you become vocal with it, you are creating that law of attraction, and it will become reality.
Now, this moment was Conor's secret origin, and while there would be a lot of hard work ahead, well, if it hadn't been for this discovery, we might have never got to know the Conor McGregor that we all love and many hate, but he is a superstar that he is today. Now, Conor, he took part in his first MMA fight back in March of 2008, and this was for the London-based promotion Cage Warriors. Here he defeated Gary Morris by technical knockout in only the second round. After After winning his next fight as well, Conor, he tasted defeat for the first time in his third fight, still just 19 years old. Now Conor, he even contemplated dropping out of MMA altogether, and he started skipping training. Now when his mom caught on to what was happening, well, she got in contact with Coach Kavanagh, who relit the fire inside of Conor to get him to continue with his MMA career. Now Conor would return to fighting, winning 2 of his next 3 matches before then going on an epic run, winning 8 straight matches in a row and becoming a 2-division champion of Cage Warriors, drawing the attention of UFC, who would sign him in 2013.
It kept ringing, so I answered it. How do you feel about making your UFC debut in 9 weeks? And then that was that. I put the phone down, I went home, and then I showed up at the gym the next day and put the work in, and that was that.
On April 6, 2013, Conor, he made his UFC debut in Stockholm against Marcus Brimage, winning in the first round by knockout.
This is why everyone's been talking about Conor McGregor. It's all over. Conor McGregor, another first-round win. Wow.
His next fight was his first one in America, which came in August of 2013 in a match against Max Holloway. Now Conor, he would go on to win the match by unanimous decision, but not before tearing his ACL. Now unbelievably, Conor, he carried through and won the match, building his legend further. Now it would actually take Conor reconstructive surgery and 8 months of rehabilitation to come back from this injury, but once he returned, well, his reign of dominance, it continued. He won 5 more fights, 4 of which didn't make it past the second round, on the road to claiming the interim UFC featherweight championship against Chad Mendes.
Could he finish him here? It's all over! Conor McGregor is the UFC interim featherweight champion!
After winning the title, he was on a collision course with Jose Aldo in a unification bout for the featherweight championship, a match he would go on to win in just 13 seconds. Seriously, this one was, this was epic. Oh my God. People didn't get their money worth, or did they? I guess it's just historic.
For the champion, Jose Aldo Jr.
Conor relaxed and smiling.
Oh no! Just slapped him like that!
I mean, the guy didn't even have time to use the washroom. Now, after laying waste to the featherweight division, Conor, he targeted the lightweight division next. A little match against Rafael dos Anjos was set for UFC 196, but Rafael, he had to pull out after breaking his foot, which led to his former contender Nate Diaz stepping up. And that was on short notice to take up Conor. Nate Diaz, what a dog, that guy. Now for the first time in his UFC career, the fight, it would not go Conor's way. Nate Diaz, he's just a punching bag. Seriously, the blood on that guy, scary. He's like the Walking Dead, really. Now eventually a rematch was set for UFC 202, an epic encounter that will go down as an all-out bloodbath, and it thrilled UFC fans all around the world. In the end, Conor outlasted Diaz in a rare fight that would go the distance, winning by a majority decision.
47 for the winner by majority decision, the Notorious Conor McGregor!
Only 3 months later, he would challenge Eddie Alvarez for the UFC lightweight championship, and he would win by technical knockout in the second round and become a 2-division champion. After winning that match, Conor, he took some time off for the birth of his first child and the proud papa. Well, he's been showing off his son ever since.
Yes, yes. Oh. Don't fall in.
While he was away from the octagon for a while, Conor began laying the groundwork for what would become his biggest payday when he began pushing for a boxing match against Floyd Mayweather. And within a month of the birth of his son, it was announced that Conor, he would be taking on Floyd inside the boxing ring in Las Vegas for what everyone was considering the fight of the year. Now the build up to this fight, it was epic, and both fighters, they set off on a 4-city tour that included a stop here in Toronto, and I was actually there front row in the crowd.
You're 40 years of age. Dress your fucking age. Carrying a school bag on stage. What are you doing with a school bag on stage? You can't even read. 40 years old carrying a school bag. The man doesn't even fucking read.
I couldn't find video footage to prove it, but definitely I was there. It was the hottest day ever. I don't know how he was wearing a suit. I sweated through my t-shirt. Then when that fight actually happened, Conor, he went 10 rounds with Floyd, but he wasn't able to pull out the victory. Eventually, he lost by technical knockout. Now people began to wonder if Conor's fighting career was over. Enter Khabib Nurmagomedov, an undefeated Russian fighter who had taken over as champion of the lightweight division in Conor's absence.
Please,
Just send me location.
Things came to a head between these two in a scene that seems ripped out of a WWE playbook when Conor, he attacked Khabib's bus, leading to several injuries on other fighters. Now, Conor would be taken into custody and charged with assault, but his legal team was able to negotiate a plea deal that reduced that felony to like a misdemeanor. Now, Conor, he was ordered by the court to perform 5 days of community service. He also had to attend anger management classes, which is just very ironic for a fighter. But move over, Nate Diaz. The stage was set for Conor versus Khabib, and this was for the UFC lightweight title. Now, Khabib, he would end up dominating the fight, forcing Conor to tap out in the 4th round. And when the final bell rang, another fight broke out between Khabib and Conor's entourage, which would result in the suspension of both fighters. Now, soon after, Conor, he shocked the world when he announced his retirement from the sport. But as we all know, his retirement, it didn't stick. Now, Conor, I think he's gonna go down in history as one of the best sportsmen and entertainers in the entire world. I've actually heard that he had some roles in Hollywood to be in like Suicide Squad, but he's just been so busy fighting and doing other things, he just couldn't do it. But I think Hollywood's next. Obviously, we're gonna see him fighting. We got a big fight happening today or tomorrow, whenever you're watching this video. And he's an icon. He's like the Notre Dame Fighting Irish come to life. Anyway, I'm a big fan. I know he's had some ups and downs in his career. Living in the spotlight's obviously very tricky, and he's like an Irish Gurrier. So, you know, like that's the truth, and that's gonna come out at some times. Anyway, Jake Paul and him, what do you guys think? If they do fight, how many rounds will Jake go? He's not gonna win. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. My name is Mike McCredden. Obviously, this is a video I really care about, so we really put in all the work we could. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let us know who you want us to feature next. Follow me over on Instagram, all that good stuff. We'll see you guys in another video.